My parents made me quit college so my brother could have his dream wedding. Then, 7 years later, they sat me at their dining table and asked why I wasn't more successful. They said poor choices like I had ruined my own life. That was the night I finally stopped protecting them. At 22, I was 3 semesters from finishing an engineering degree. I had scholarships and an internship lined up. Then my parents said they were having financial difficulties and needed me to take a gap year because they couldn't support my schooling and my brother's wedding at the same time. They promised we'd revisit it after the wedding. I believed them. I withdrew, got a warehouse job, and that gap year turned into 7 years. Meanwhile, they were doing just fine. My brother got a country club wedding. My parents took trips, remodeled their kitchen, and bought nicer cars. But somehow I was the one who had made bad choices. At that dinner, my dad started lecturing me about my trajectory. My mom piled on like this was loving concern. So I looked at them and said the one thing nobody wanted said. Why are you shocked I'm behind when you made me leave school to help pay for his wedding? My mother snapped that I was being unfair. My brother sat there like a statue. So I asked him how much the wedding actually cost. He got annoyed, not guilty. I left before dessert and spent the night digging through old emails and old posts. My brother finally admitted the wedding cost about 60 grand, and my parents covered roughly half. Then I called my old academic advisor. He told me my tuition had been fully covered the whole time through scholarships and a department grant. I didn't need a fortune to stay in school. I needed about $7,000 a year for rent and books. That was when it clicked. They did not wreck my future because they had no choice. They wrecked it because I was the cheaper sacrifice. So I built receipts. I made a timeline, saved screenshots, and printed the old emails where they used phrases like redirecting educational resources so they never had to say the truth out loud. Then my mom called and ordered me to another family dinner for my sister-in-law's pregnancy announcement. She also demanded an apology. I said I'd be there. I showed up early with a folder and a recorder in my pocket. I put the folder on the table. My mother reached for it. I pulled it back. Then I laid out the timeline. March. They made me withdraw. June. They paid for the wedding. Then came the vacation, the remodel, and the cars. Finally, I held up the scholarship confirmation. My tuition was free. You threw away my degree for $7,000. My father went cold. My mother cried. Then my brother and his wife walked in and heard the rest. I read everything out loud, including the part where my parents had told the whole family I had chosen to leave school. My sister-in-law looked sick. My brother looked trapped. I gave them 1 week to tell the truth themselves. Then I left the copies and walked out. They tried one last trick. My mom sent a careful email asking for family counseling so we could hear each other's perspective. No apology, no truth, just another stall. So when the week ran out, I sent the full timeline to the entire family. That was when the real mess started. My grandmother called first. She told me she had sent my parents $10,000 in 2018 because they claimed they were in trouble. Over the years, she and my grandfather had sent them over $50,000 more for fake emergencies. They had not just lied to me, they had been lying to everyone. Once my documents went out, nobody bought their victim story anymore. My brother's wife found out he had stayed quiet because it benefited him. She separated from him for a while. My parents got iced out by relatives. And my grandparents did the one thing my parents never did. They helped me for real. They set up an education fund in my name that my parents could not touch. I went back to school. It was rough because 7 years in a warehouse does not keep your calculus sharp, but I kept grinding. I finished my engineering degree with honors, landed a real engineering job, and finally got the life they tried to bury. My parents never apologized. They kept calling it a misunderstanding, like you can accidentally destroy someone's future and blame him for it for 7 straight years. I saw them once after that at a restaurant. They looked at me. I looked right past them. That was the first time it really felt over. They spent years telling me I had ruined my own life. Turns out I was never the screw-up. I was just the son they found easiest to sacrifice. Tell me honestly, would you have exposed them too, or was I still too nice?